Hello, we've got Wes with us.
Hey,
Hi, Wesley. How are you?
good you?
No, not too bad. You sent me some information about this rehab center. Yes.
Yeah, it's Maxi Treatment Center. So, big concerns with this place is there's a guy on the ground with a medical procedure in his room for a half an hour to an hour where none of the staff noticed, and I'm like, how does this not get noticed? Like, this is a treatment facility. And I was like, that's unprofessional.
Yeah.
Then the other thing is, they weren't cooking our breakfast on the weekend, so we had to take ownership and do that ourselves. And then they're giving us trouble for it because of the COVID regulations. Well, second, other one is your staff aren't following their mandatory mandates wearing masks anyway, so what does it matter if we're doing that? But the other one is there's a staff, like, we got in a car accident. The staff never said nothing about it, and like, I could smell the alcohol on her breath, same with four other clients, so I was like, and then you have staff talking about their drug use, like this and that, answering their phone on the job, like talking to their women or their husband or like man, whatever, and I'm like, come on, like, this is a treatment facility. And then a courier comes at the back, like, I unloaded their, like, food, brought it downstairs, signed it on their paperwork.
Yeah.
And I take it to the staff, and I'm like, well, how is this my job? And I brought that to them when I gave them the paperwork. I'm like, this is not my job to do your guys' job for you. Same thing with the breakfast. I was like, this is not my job to cook for these people or help. I was like, and then other one was they wanted me to take a urine sample. Well, I couldn't fill the cup full enough for it to register, which they're not even allowed to do that. They have to have a court order to do urine samples on you in a rehab, from what my probation officer told me. Now I'm on probation. I just got off parole.
Yeah.
And they came at me and put probation on me for 6 months, and I'm like, all right, but going back to that urine test, they threatened to rape me up because I couldn't be in class. And, I told them, well, this is unprofessional. And they're like, well, do you do, like, your tone of voice? And I was like, you want to talk about my tone of voice? So I raised it, and I'm like, this is effing BS. You guys are threatening me to do this when I'm not in this class. So I was like, well, you want me to take a urine sample yet be in class at the same time? I said, you guys are raising pressure on me. There's 4 staff standing here, and you guys are doing this to me. I'm like, this is effing BS. I might as well just pack up my bags and leave. Well, I wanted to, like, have a meeting with their director, like, their head boss of the treatment center.
Yeah.
And, like, the head management there. And then I messaged one of the managers on Facebook,
Yeah.
Emily Bear, and she's like, I want to know exactly what happened this weekend. We want you to do a survey. So I email this thing, and I wait 3-4 days. Nothing happens. I've left there since last Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever, I just went in there on my own will. Because I was like, whatever, I went back to alcohol after 3 years, and, like, due to my depression and stuff.
Yeah.
And from dealing with past stuff, with being in the pen and dealing with that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, to my probation officer, I was like, I'd like to go to rehab because I'm doing things like smoking pot and stuff on the weekends. I was like, this is not good for me if I want to do mental health and addiction myself, and being a counselor myself, helping the youth and other adults get out of the path, like gang life, this and that. And plus I do street ministry, like go out handing hot dogs, clothes, praying for, like, people on the street.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is a concern to me that this facility is running like that, where it's like, do you care about your clients, really?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm still waiting for an exit survey, and it's been 6 days now.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's been 5 days, pardon me, and I was like, you know, like, how do people run your facility? And then, like, me being a Christian, not taking part in, like, smudging and stuff,
Yeah.
they're telling me that I'm being racist. I was like, how am I being racist just because I don't want to smudge and take part in sharing circles? I was like, you guys have to comprehend my religion just like I'm doing it to you guys, because I could have just turned around and said, you know what? This isn't my religion. I do not want this around me. But no, I was like, I respect what you guys are doing, and boom. And then there was a Christian lady came in there, like, to do preaching in a service, like some class we have, and I was like, just the way she was preaching, I was like, she was preaching this wrong faith, and I was like, do you realize you're feeding these people, like, the wrong way? And they like, I just left, and they're like, you know, they just got fed up with it, and I was like, whatever, you know, to the point where I got kicked out, and I was like, you know, I'm trying my best to say what I have to say for you guys to do certain things to benefit other clients, where I had staff coming to me, asking me for advice. I was like, you know, like, come on, you guys.
Yeah, it sounds just like really poorly run with poor communication and yeah, like I don't understand the protocols or anything.
I'm just watching how it is in the facilities right now. You know, they want to open another facility. I think in Saskatoon, out of remand, it's like $1.2 million. It's like, why do you guys not have, like, drug court in Saskatoon and PA to benefit these people, you know? They're like, where it's like, hey, well, these people are using drugs and alcohol to mask with coke, like, you know, things, you know, it all starts out as fun games, do.
Yeah.
Then you start living to make it an addiction because you're coping with depression, anxiety, fear, anger, you know? Like traumatism, you know, getting sexually assaulted, like lots of people, you know? I'm like, you know, I'm like, where is it gonna come to be? You know, I've watched how many suicides in prison in the past, how many years I've been in. I'm like, you know, watch how Greg's back in there again. Watch how he's back in there again. He's not getting the help he needs. And I watch Brendan, how he's in there, you know. And I'm just like, you know, they ship him to Edmonton Max instead of sending these guys to RTC or like Abbotsford. Then I watch how RTC is where I was. I'm like, you know, how do you force needles on people, you know, if they don't take their medication, schizophrenic people? How do you do that where the ERT team suits up, all suited up, you know, pepper spray, baton, shields, all suited up? I was like, do you realize what that does to these people? It just traumatizes them. You're forcing an injection on them. And I'm like, okay, well, where does this come in with human rights and stuff? Like, I don't know that part, but you know? And I just look at it, is this underneath the Mental Health Act of Canada that you can illegally suit up like that and do that to people in prison? What about the people on the streets? What are they going to do if they don't take their injection? Nothing, you know? Why are you doing this to guys in prison? I was like, you know, that's human torture is the way I look at it. You know, they've done that stuff to me, like, just because, like, I'm not even schizophrenic, but I've tried, like, said, look, you guys are forcing medication on me. I'm not a skittle popper here. I am on 16 different medications. I went in there on only 3 medications, now I'm on 13 more. What are you guys trying to do? Eat me your guinea pig, I said?
Yeah.
Well, you have no choice but to take them, or we're going to certify you underneath the Mental Health Act of Canada. When I had 9 days left in the pen, well, they turned around and said, well, you don't do this, we're going to make you sit in here for 21 more days. I was like, are you kidding me? That's illegal. That's past my statutory release date. Well, we don't care. We could hold you illegally to your word. I'm not LTO, I'm not DO, I said, I'm none of that stuff. Yeah, I have a pretty deadly record, but it's not too serious, I said, this is my first federal sentence, and I just approached them, and I'm like, hey, guys, it makes me sick where, I did act up, I started self-harming, and, doing things, and then getting sent back for when I was in the halfway house, Regina Correctional. Well, heck is it called? Wascana Center or something in Regina.
The halfway house there.
Yeah. Me and, what's her name again? The lady who runs Beyond Prison Walls, how
Sherry.
People I've talked to about that facility where they went and spoke to them, that's how Greg got out last time, was because of me going to the news, press and getting the press to go there. I was like, you guys realize what you're doing to these people,
Yeah.
They're not even supposed to hold LTOs in a facility. They're not even supposed to have those people in halfway houses. Illegally, they're allowed to go, and they're not letting certain people. Well, you send me back because I refused to move units at the halfway house just because they wanted to put someone on the unit. And they're like, we really need this spot. He's in a wheelchair. And then I'm like, no, that's not my guy's problem. And then I find out, I get out 17 days later, I ask who this guy is on the unit to my buddy, and then I see who the guy is. I knew him. Not even in a wheelchair. Not even in a wheelchair. They send me back for refusing to move units at a halfway house. I was like, come on. Are you kidding me?
It's just everything is meant to aid the powerful, and everybody's trying to get help is always the one with the short end.
Well, that's the way it seems, and then you're fighting to get that yes answer, and now, I have people out here telling me, well, you gotta accept no for an answer. Yes, I do, but at the same time, I don't see people realizing what I've been through in there, telling me, oh, get over your anxiety, take a deep breath. No, it's not that easy.
It's not that easy. No.
I'm dealing with PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not that easy. People are like, oh, you'll be okay. Nah, man, you know what? And telling me to surrender it over to God. It's I try, but it's do you guys realize ultimately where this stuff comes from in these facilities? I just see it getting worse and worse and worse in these places where it's does the system really care? Or is it just more money in their pocket,
Yeah.
Where are the regulations coming into play, you know what I mean? One day I got in a fight with 2 guys just scrapping in the yard for probably a half an hour straight, just banging out 2 guys getting banged. You know what I mean? Obviously, they're bigger guys that got my ass kicked, but come on, How do you not see that on camera? There's 8 cameras in the yard. It's said it's done, you know what I mean? How do you not? How does that shit go unnoticed? Half an hour straight? Where's your security mandate? Holy shit. And the exact same day, those 2 guys escaped from RPC. I was like, are you kidding me?
No, it sounds like a mess. It sounds like awful. And I'm glad you're speaking out, and maybe people don't want to hear it, but I'm glad you are.
No, I don't know, like, lots of people are just scared to speak out, but, like, what's there to be scared about, you know? Put these people on blast. Like, people are just scared, you know? Like, since I've been out, you know, I've had gang unit come to my shop 2 times, you know? And I told them, I was like, you know, I was like being here at night by myself, seeing them around. I was like, hey man, like, what are you guys doing here? Well, this bay door went off. And then I go talk to these people, no it didn't. Then they come back 2 days later and I go walk out there and say my name. I looked at them and I'm like, well, what are you really here for? And the one gang unit officer's like, well, Mr. Arstall, you know, we're just keeping our tabs on you.
Yeah.
Then this weekend, you know, I go with, well, I'm not going to say the name just because we're on here, but I went out with one of the gang bosses this weekend, and then I seen them, you know what I mean? I seen them how they rolled up here on Sunday, so I'm like, you know, are you guys really watching my activities that much? That, you know, I put this life behind me, I go hang out with certain people. But you're watching me that much to see who my associates are, what I'm doing, like.
It kind of makes you feel targeted, hey?
Well, it's like, what are you guys really doing, you know? Like, they never came, said nothing to me, but I've seen them, you know what I mean? Like, pull up in front of my place and then pull up and just sit there for like a half an hour, 45 minutes. I'm like, well, what the hell are you guys doing? Come on, man. Like, I'm not in the hood. I'm up in the industrial area where not too many people are around me, you know, like way up on the north end, you know, not very many people live around me, you know, there's very few houses where it's like, come on, like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing, targeting me? Like, I put that lifestyle behind me how many years ago, and it's not even on my file. I'm not even registered as a gang member and not playing, you know? And it's like, look at what I'm doing for our community now. Like, come on, I'm out there helping. I'm a counselor myself, you know?
I seen your picture. Like, you do a lot of good work out there.
I'm a mentor, you know what I mean? Like, people can look at my Facebook and see what I'm doing. Like, I'm a mentor. I work straight up, you know? Like, I do gang production, you know? I do all this stuff for the community. And then it's like, you know, you only see the bad.
Right.
That's the way I'm seeing it. You're seeing the bad, and I get judged, but when I'm doing good, it goes unnoticed. I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm straight flagged is the way I look at it. And it's like I'm even on parole. And then I have people tell me, oh, no, dude, you're sketching. No, man, I'm not sketching. No, and these things are unnoticeable. Like, I'm not using drugs. I'm not doing that. And people are like, dude, are you sure you're not high? Are you kidding me? I was like, this stuff is so noticeable where I'm like, you know? For the second time when they came, like, to my work, I said something to him. I was like, alright, you guys, man, what's going on? Where the one officer said my name. Oh, we're just checking to see what you're really up to. I was like, oh. I said, you guys keep on coming around here? But I said, you know, every time you do it, I'm going to put a time down. When you come, how long you sit here with me, and I'm just gonna say to my lawyer, like, look, this is harassment, you know, because it's on my investigation. Legally, we have to talk. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Same thing with having to give you their badge number and their name. What if they work with? Lots of people don't realize that. Then where they tell me, oh, we can't give you that. I'm like, you want to bet you legally have to tell me your name, your badge number, and if you work for it.
That sounds rough.
It
just adds to the stress.
Mental
stress.
Yeah, that's mental stress where, you know, I'm like, just like, holy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I just stay focused on the little things, you know, like, or doing, I don't go out with my friends really anymore because of my past history, where it's like, you know, when I was out in Regina, when I see these new places, what my work thought, I was like, why would a gang program put their house in the hood where you put people around negativity and like, you know, but I know these people want to help, but I look at that one treatment center, how unprofessional that was, where the treatment facility, where, you know, I asked to go, and I was like, come on, you guys, like, you have staff coming to me asking for opinion, me doing the staff's job and then getting this shit for it. I was like, yo, why the fuck am I getting this shit? Why aren't you giving your client, like, your coworkers shit? Why aren't you guys going to them instead of going against your clients, or you have a bunch of drug addicts and alcoholics coming off stuff while they're going through a few withdrawals. You're just putting stress on them. I'm sitting there, how I knew I was ahead of these people, and you know, then you have people going to the staff saying, oh, this guy's doing this guy's doing that, you know, like, about me, and then I go in there talking about what the hell happened this weekend when I come out and have these little crystal meth addicts. Oh man, like, you know, flipping around on me, oh, this guy went and ratted this out. I was like, no. The staff told me who went in there and ratted me out because I'm telling you my past gang activity, you know, like, my ancient stuff. But I'm not, and I'm not glorifying this. I am telling you this so you know who I am. I don't need people to feel sorry for me.
Yeah.
And then I get judged upon it, where, like, this guy come hit me with this, oh, what's your this, your that? You know what? I told them they know what I do. And they're like, oh, like, you know, me on it, and I'm like, why the hell don't you people do your job to help people? You're sitting there for 3 days. We're sitting there for 3 days, no programming, no nothing. We're just sitting there watching TV, cooking our own food, doing this. So, like, why are we here? Why are we here? Then you're telling us, oh, put on your mask, put on hand sanitizer, do this, do that. Where it's like, hey, you realize there's people here that are on court orders, getting out of jail, getting out of the penitentiary, where you're like institutionalized basically there. And then how do they clients pay for a phone in a rehab facility to talk to their own family? Like, why don't you guys have a client phone there? Like, people coming in this facility have nothing what are supposed to, you know? Nothing their phone. And you're making them pay for it. phone. I was like, come on, you know, like, I help people call their own family. And then you're putting us on 3-day lockdown not to have a phone. I sat in there for 4 days. Not even able to have a phone call, and then when they that I'm supposed to be off the phone locked off, I go make a phone call to my mom. I start talking to her all of a sudden, the staff wants the phone. What are you doing? You're getting ready enough. Take the phone. Grab the phone and get it. And I was like, whoa, excuse me? I kind of like got up with my prison manager, you know, I was like, excuse me? This is 3 days mandatory not to have a phone. There's been a client who's been here for a week who hasn't even been able to have a phone call. I was like, okay, where are you guys following your guidelines? You're not doing a temperature or nothing. I was like, it's not do a temperature.
This sounds like it sounds too like human rights abuse. Because I mean, when people are coming out of jail and stuff, it's like what I've been hearing too. It's like nobody's got any money. Nobody's got anything, and they need free stuff to get them going. Like you have to be able to call your for free.
Yeah. Like me, I'm lucky for what I have. You know, like my dog gives me a free place to live. Do I work my ass off for it? Yeah. Do I put in that extra time? Do I do what mom would you do? Yeah. Because if I didn't have it, I wouldn't have what I have.
Yeah.
Not only did I lose my house from what happened to me, not only did I lose my fiance and my kid on the way, I lost everything I had because, yes, I realized, like, I chose back money, doing, internet, like selling drugs, international work, doing stuff like that, where I'm like, I'm 21 years old, where I'm like, okay, if I live this life, either I'm going to catch like, a life sentence.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be that person in a bag with a toe tag.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I realize I'm the one who put myself there where a lot of people judge us in the community. Well, these people deserve to be there. Yes, we do, but we're still human beings. And a lot of people don't think us convicts don't realize we are the ones who put ourselves there. They're like, these people need to be there. Then you look at sex offenders. How the hell are you guys getting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years? Why aren't you guys getting life sentence like anyone else? Then you're getting out on paper. Like,
I totally agree with that point too. Because it's
that is just as worse as murder. These people should be doing life. What the hell is wrong with the system? You are releasing them in a community.
And you get more time for a property crime than you do for like hurting somebody who's like 3 years old, and maybe they'll never be normal again. You know?
There was a guy in there for, pardon my language,
not
around there, but there was a guy in there for raping a 6-month-old kid, and he only got 4.5 years. Like, you can only imagine what I did to this guy, you know? Like, am I ashamed for what I did? Yes, I put 6 tuna cans in a sock and caved the guy's face in, Did I pick up extra time? Yes, I did. But in the end, I should have never did that. Do I feel remorse for what I did? Yes, But in the end of the day, because I'm a changed man and I'm a Christian, you know how that hurts me that I did that to the person? But if someone else probably would have never did something, that guy would have been just a cold case in a bag with a toe tag out the door, Where I know if I go back to a facility like this with my mental health, I wouldn't be able to handle it because of all my time that I had in the max, Where these guys in the max, they're no guys in the hole. Where are they getting out? They're not getting time out of their cell. A lot of these guys got COVID now. Like, when I was in there, how do you leave someone in a cell 12 days naked, where there's female guys walking around, then you have guards come roll in my cell and beat the shit out of me and choke me out.
This is what we're hearing more and more is that isolation is just constant. Segregation is just constant.
This is what's driving these inmates more insane, where they're gonna, they don't think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, this is where the guards and, the 4 bars and the people, the boarding, why do you think the inmates act the way they act by throwing shit, piss, lighting themselves on fire, doing
Yeah.
this shit is because it's intention seeking. You don't realize they're fighting for their rights, their freedom, where they should be able to get in their time out. Instead, you cage them like an animal where it speeds up.
Yeah.
Like, and the way I look at it is, yes, does the federal system have to have their priorities straight with these convicts and doing this stuff? Yes, they do. But at the same time, you look at what they're doing, like it goes both ways, absolutely. But it's like, what are you guys doing to better these inmates where they don't come back?
Not
like I'm watching documentaries. I just watched the documentary the other day where I seen federal inmates in Green Bay went up on life sentences where they're like, they get to go out with the guards and smoke, and they get to go hunting. I'm like, holy shit. You know what I mean? That's a lot of trust in these convicts. I was like, where is this stuff happening without Saskatchewan? I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, you're trusting these people a year after they killed someone to go out hunting with the guards, like, in Green Bay, like Inuit people.
I've been watching and reading just so much stuff that's like,
it's so
crazy
once the stories come out about what's going on inside between the CSOs and the prisoners. It's like in Nova Scotia, like New Brunswick, and like all these other places, and people are just shocked, and it's like, whoa, this is like constant violence. Constant
violence in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is up in like Alberta and there,
but here,
Saskatchewan, what I've seen in Saskatchewan, there's a lot of physical and mental abuse.
And I think like I just heard a report a couple days ago. They said too, it's like there's a lot of sexual violence going on in the women's prisons. Where there's CSOs assaulting women, like
yeah.
Guards are sexually assaulting women.
And I don't know if that's happening in Saskatchewan, but I know that it's happening in like other provinces.
This guard patted me down when he was this happened with a female too. Like when she was patting me down, she grabbed my groin, and I was like, holy fuck, you know what I mean? She was good looking. I was like, okay, well, holy fuck, what did he say? I was like, she's like, do you want to get locked up? I was like, oh, nothing, you know what I mean? Because I was going to canteen and yard, so I was like, whatever, let it slide because for other staff were looking at her, but I was like, whatever, at least it was a woman. But second time this happened, and I brought it forward to the floor bar and the warden, I was like, I was sexually assaulted by a guard today, because I just happened to see the warden, and I was like, I was like, I talked to my buddies about it, and I was like, dude, what should I say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I had 3 other inmates, so I go to the guard. I mean, not the guards, I go to the warden because I seen them walking through the hallway. They're like, this was an RPC. I was like, hey, Darcy, I need to talk to you instead of putting in a request because you're here right now. I said, the day I was sexually assaulted, and he's like, by an inmate or a guard? And I was like, by a guard. And he's like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah, this was around the time when he was patting me down. He never patted anyone else down. It was specifically targeted, and when he patted me down, he grabbed my testicles and cupped them, and then they go back and review the camera and stuff, and they're like, oh, they're like, well, at that time, unfortunately, there was a camera malfunction. I was like, oh yeah, how does that happen?
That seems to happen an awful lot.
I was like, oh yeah, how does that happen? And just specifically basically at that time, there was a camera malfunction for 3-minute little time period. I was like, oh yeah, so you guys went back specifically on that and erased that little time period. I was like, oh yeah. Yeah,
let's just
how that works.
Yeah, you can see
like it's like how everything is stacked against.
There's a power imbalance. The power imbalance is so great
No,
that
if there was even
yeah.
a camera malfunction, the guards would have been yelling, all right, guys, lock up, you gotta go back to your unit, you gotta come back from canteen, camera malfunction. Well, they wouldn't even say camera malfunction, you know?
No.
You know, that's a time where people would attack other inmates.
Yeah.
Like, they wouldn't even say that. They just say, lock up, you know?
Yeah.
And
Ooh,
then,
ooh.
Wes,
I should get going here.
Yeah.
I got supper for those small people.
I have to feed them.
Thanks for phoning, and I haven't heard from you for a while, and it sounds like you keep fighting and you keep talking about it, and that's like super important.
And lots of people see the good you do.
I just want to see the good, like, within people, know that they're not alone. Remember the true power. These people are not alone out here, you know?
Yeah.
We're gonna
reach out. Lots of people need to reach out. These young men and women should start reaching out.
I think it
would be helpful. We'll get this out, and maybe we'll see who's going to reach out.
And it's important to start getting those conversations going more.
Oh yeah, I just wish there was more things out there for these people like addicts.
Yeah.
People coming out of prison.
Yeah.
Like I've been on probation for this long.
Yeah.
And they couldn't even get me into a facility where I went around with the people I knew, and it was a snap of the fingers. I was within there within 2 days. Where on other obligations, it would have took six to 8 weeks for these POs. I'm like, well, come on, like, you guys are the system.
Yeah.
Where's you guys in school? How do I have more tools than you guys to get around and do it myself? I was like, very interesting.
You got to keep speaking out, and you got to keep talking. Because apparently, if you know.
People eventually,
you know what I mean. They'll feel that they're going to be able to talk to.
Well, they don't need to be alone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that's how it is in a lot of these youths now, they're scared and traumatized. Now they're joining gangs. Feel that power. That's where it is with these youth, these 12, 13, 14-year-olds. They're getting down with these gangs to feel that power. I was the same way. I was the same way. And I didn't know he lived that life.
Now you can share that knowledge.
I played hockey, I played lacrosse, just below the NLL. I was a pickup player for the Saskatoon Blades, but I chose the lifestyle I wanted to live. And that's what people don't realize. You choose what you want to be. God gave you that free will. It's like, but I see how it is. A lot of people are different. Everyone has their story.
It's true. Well, thanks for calling us. We appreciate this. And we'll get this up as soon as we can. And we'll just keep talking. You keep checking in with us when.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
If you ever need help doing these things, whatever you need, reaching out to people,
That's awesome. I think in the future we're gonna see more people talking and more people getting together to do something with the provincial. Everyone's getting tired of it. Yeah.
It's provincial and federal.
Both.
Right now,
Yeah.
Saskatoon correctional is worse than. I don't even want, Saskatoon correctional is a whole other level. It's worse than the pen. It is worse than RPC. where like there's not even cell calls, like if there's any medical emergency, they ain't nothing. Where I did see a guy with a medical emergency, you know, where like he had to rip his smoke detector down just to get the guards to go himself, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I should go.
I gotta get going, Wes.
I gotta do
my.
We gotta
be here. There's gonna be.
Yes. But thanks again.
We'll talk to you again.
And I'll tag you.
And we'll get talking and see what we can do about the
overthrowing
the government. Yeah.
Okay. Well, do
take care.
Talk to you again.
Okay,
Bye.
Bye.